So what is a new conversation with men? Well, to answer that question, I'm going to have to go back a few years. You see, back in 1988 or so, I had done everything society says a man is supposed to do in order to be happy. I had the wife, the house, the 2.5 kids, the 401k, and all of that. And so by society standards, I was successful. But yet there was something wrong, something missing that I really couldn't identify, couldn't put my finger on, and didn't really understand. And within about a 6-year period, I watched my American dream turn into an American nightmare as I went through a divorce, a bankruptcy, a foreclosure, and basically lost everything. And so there I was, bankrupt and alone and confused, trying to figure out what does it mean to be a man? Because I did what I thought a man was supposed to do to be happy and successful, but yet my life wasn't working. And so during one of the darkest periods of my life, I was sitting up late one night, and I was looking across my room where I had this bookshelf. And on this bookshelf, I noticed that every book on that shelf had something to do with making money. And I realized that all of my life, that's what I had done. I had chased money, tried to figure out how to get rich. I had done every get-rich-quick scheme you can imagine, and just had really committed myself to trying to be wealthy. And yet, I had done all the things that I thought were going to make me happy, but when I attained those things, I kept chasing more, trying to find other ways to get rich and to be happy. And so as I was sitting there looking across at those books, this question popped in my head. And the question was this. And it said, Michael, what if you took all the energy and effort you've used in trying to get rich and simply learn how to be happy? And as a result of asking myself that very simple question, I literally changed my life forever. Because after asking myself that question, I stopped reading books on how to make money, and I started reading books on personal development, spirituality, and relationships, and psychology, and philosophy, and metaphysics, and all of a sudden, my life began to make sense. And I was able to rebuild my life after those devastating events that I mentioned earlier. And when I got to this point where I could say that I was genuinely happy with myself and my life, I knew that there had to be other men out there who had experienced some of the same things that I had. And so I wanted to create a resource to support them in dealing with those things. And so I wrote a book called A New Conversation with Men. And this book is my attempt to share the things, the lessons that I've learned over the last 15, 20 years that have helped me become genuinely happy with my life. Because I believe that's probably the most important question that we're not asking ourselves as men in this society. Because we gain the external things, you know, the things I mentioned like the house, the wife, the cars, and all of that. But what about the internal things like the joy and the aliveness and the passion and the fulfillment? See, those are the things that I think we really are trying to get to, but we can't do it as long as we're looking outside of ourselves. So what we have to be willing to do is go within, in our minds and in our hearts, to figure out what it is that really drives us. And so A New Conversation with Men is just my attempt to share some things that I've learned that have helped me do the things that I mentioned, like becoming genuinely happy with my life. And so if you're watching this video right now, I know without question that you're the type of person that's probably asking that question right now. How can I become genuinely happy with my life? Well, I don't believe in quick fixes, but I do know that it's possible, no matter how bad your life might be right now, it is possible for you to overcome those obstacles and to become genuinely happy with your life. But I can assure you it's going to take some effort. It's going to take lots of effort. But I wanted to provide this resource to support you in that effort. And so what I've done is put together a 10-chapter book that I think can really help benefit you. I also have a radio program called A New Conversation with Men, which is on the internet radio station Blog Talk Radio. And if you're interested, you want to gain some insights there, you can click on the link below where it says radio show. And actually the link is above me. Click on the radio show and you can listen to some radio shows I've done in the past. And there's probably a subject there that you might benefit from. So take advantage of this resource because it is designed to support you in creating a new conversation with men in which you stop looking outside of yourself for answers, you start looking within, and you find the joy and happiness that I know that you deserve. So I want to welcome you to a new conversation with men, and if you're watching this video, know that you are already a revolutionary in my revolution, because that's what I'm doing. I'm starting a new revolution, and this isn't a revolution of violence or control. It's a revolution of the mind, the hearts, and souls of men around the globe. And so, once again, if you're listening right now or viewing this video, you're already a part of that. Because most men, believe it or not, aren't really ready to join this revolution. But since you're watching, I know that you are. So I want to thank you for joining me here. And I want you to make sure that you take advantage of all the resources that this website has to offer. Because they're all for you. They're all designed to empower you to reach your full potential. So enter your email address if you're interested in joining the revolution and you want to keep up with what's going on here at the website and some of the other things that I'm doing. If this message resonates with you, then again, just enter your email address and I'll be sending you out emails just to let you know how to keep up with the revolution and how to engage in a new conversation with men. Thanks for joining me.